Hello people! If you're tired and bored of eating the same kind of old food and want to try something new and exciting, then this video is for you. Today we are going to make something called macaroni and cheese pasta, commonly known as mac and cheese. So let's get started. So before we even start off with the ingredients, the first thing that you need to do is to put your oven for preheat. I have already done that. I'm preheating my oven at 170 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Also, to save time, what I did was I had already pre-cooked my macaroni. So now we'll take a look at how to make the cheese sauce. So I have heated my saucepan, and to it I'm going to add 2 spoons of butter. And once my butter is nicely heated, I'll be adding some breadcrumbs to this. Okay, so now my butter is nicely melted. I'm going to add half cups of breadcrumbs to this and just fry this off. Well, yes, this is done. Turn off the heat, and I'm going to keep this breadcrumbs at the side and we'll use this later on. So after the breadcrumbs comes the part where we are making the actual cheese sauce. For that, we'll be taking another spoon of butter. This is teaspoons, the smallest spoon. And to this, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic. Now this is really an optional step. You can skip the garlic if you are not too fond of it. I really love garlic and that's why I'm using it in here. So once my garlic turns a bit brown, there it goes. Now I'm going to add to this 2 tablespoons, that's a bigger spoon, of all-purpose flour. That's Maida. There you go. I'm going to give it a nice mix. It's going to form this crumble kind of thing. That's okay. This is how it generally tends to be. To this, I'm now going to add 2 cups of milk. That's 500 milliliters of milk. Now you can see that there are these lumps forming up when we added the milk to the all-purpose flour and garlic paste that was formed. But this is very normal. You just have to keep on stirring it and it will melt away, because after all it's maida, so it's going to melt away anyways. Just have to keep on stirring it nicely. There. So as you can see, the lumps, they're all gone now. And our milk is nice and smooth. Now at this point of time, we'll be adding some cheese to this. After all, it's mac and cheese, right? So I'll be adding around 100 grams of grated cheddar cheese to this. There. And mix it nicely till the cheese melts into this. Okay, so as you can see that the sauce is thickening up quite a bit now. To this, we'll add salt. Salt is as per taste, but you might want to add a bit more salt in here, because in your entire dish, this is the only place where salt goes in. So this is it. I've added salt. I'm adding some crushed red chillies to this. It's up to your taste buds. If you like it, go ahead. If not, just ignore it. Great. This is done. And I'll be adding some herbs to this. Now these herbs, they're just mixed herbs. There you go. Our sauce is all done now. Turn off the heat. So now that our cheese sauce is done, what we have to do is we have to incorporate the macaroni and the cheese sauce together, and then we are going to bake it for say 5 to 7 minutes. It's not really baking, it's just that the top crust has to turn a bit brown. That's how you would love your macaroni and pasta to be. Sorry, macaroni and cheese pasta to be. So I have, as I had mentioned, that I had already pre-cooked my macaroni, and I have lined it in a baking tray. What you basically need to do is you take a baking tray and you grease it with some oil lightly, and then you add on the macaroni in it. I've already done that. So before adding the cheese sauce to the macaroni, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some green olives to this. If you don't have olives, you can completely skip this, or you might add jalapenos or pickles, anything that you would like, you could add this. Now this is something which generally is not done while making macaroni and cheese pasta, but I just happen to love it this way. So really, if you want to do it my way, then definitely add olives, or you could just skip it. Now I'm going to put in my cheese sauce. So let's start off with adding the sauce. Spread it as evenly as you can so that each and every bit of macaroni has some cheese to it. Lovely. So here we have added our cheese sauce. We are nearly done. Just one thing left is, remember the breadcrumbs that we prepared? Now we are going to just sprinkle it all over my macaroni and cheese surface. There you go. So now that we have set our baking tray, we are going to put it in the oven and basically bake it for 5 to 7 minutes, or until the top crust turns out a bit brown. So I'm going to put my mac and cheese into the oven, and I'll see you in next 5 minutes. So my mac and cheese is all baked and ready, and I've taken it out of the oven just now. So as you can see, as I had mentioned, that these would turn out browner. If you can see on the edges, it's nice and baked properly. So this is done. Now let's just check out how really juicy has our mac and cheese turned out to be. So I'll just maybe scoop out some of it. There. Oh, it's hot. So our mac and cheese has turned out to be really juicy and really nice. I hope it tastes as good. So maybe I'll take a bite. It's just good, just perfect. The crunchiness of the breadcrumbs, the paprika, the herbs, the olives, amazing. So you guys go ahead and try it out at home and let me know how it turns out. I'd be eagerly waiting for the response. And also, if there is any recipe in particular that you want me to share with you, please write in. I would be more than happy to bring forward those recipes. So until next time, take care and eat healthy.